go there. Thank you, sweetheart. There's my hair is nice and done, and this will last me a while. So welcome. YouTube is just joining. This is part 2. So I folded it once. This is the second time. You just literally take it out of the bowl and you pop it here on your lightly floured surface. Rub it in your hand. And then I like to flatten it and fold. Oh, this feels so good. It just feels so good. Kind of nudge and tuck and fold, and then you flip it over, right? Boom. And I like to tap it a little. And this is perfect. This is just gonna sit, and what we're gonna do now is I'm going to show you guys, we're gonna cover it so nothing gets on it. I'm gonna show you guys what the whole process of adding the butter into the dough is. So before I yes, hopefully soon. Before I add the butter, I have unsalted butter into the dough. I'm gonna cut a stick of butter. Imagine a stick. I have a big slab, so I'm gonna imagine that I want, and I'm going to add 3 layers of butter to that. So I'm just gonna make a stick size cut through here. This is frozen butter. It really is best to use frozen butter because it gives you more cook time or play time with this, Señora. Okay, and then what I like to do is I take parchment paper and literally put it right somewhat in the middle of that. This portion is fun, especially if you have teenagers and you want to get the aggression out of your teenage boy drivers. Put it on your marble surface, and you're gonna knock some sense into them, like that. This is frozen, so it's going to be nice and hard. Okay, let's let it sit, because it really is frozen. What I'll do is roll my dough out while I let that sit a little on the counter, and try and keep this dough kind of rectangle. You don't need to go crazy with it and bring out a measuring tape and cut and paste. No, it's homemade, right? It has to be homemade. We're gonna roll this out, and you wanna do this while the dough is also cold, otherwise it's gonna fall apart. And if you notice one part is becoming uneven, try and even it out like that. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna roll this out. Look how rectangle I'm staying with this. I'm actually so impressed by myself, with myself. Peel it off. Lightly flour the surface, lightly. You don't, because flour makes your dough hard. You don't want to really go crazy with the flour. Okay, and then just roll it out again. And you can get bigger, just stay within your rectangle. It's really simple. If you start panicking about it not becoming rectangle shape, you're gonna mess it up. It's as simple as that. Just peel it off slowly. You're gonna have to peel it off and re-flour the surface, right? And here we go. Just roll it out. And then we're gonna pound the living life out of that butter. That's perfect. So what's going to happen is everybody knows what a letter fold is, right? Or you fold a letter or a three-fold. You go halfway, you bring this over. The butter is going to go right in the center, and this is going to flap over it. And then you roll it and you flap it again. I'll show you guys. But I'm going to pound this butter out. Going to be so super darn frozen, but I'm going to get the one that I have from earlier. I left out. Okay. Here we go. This is better. This is just going to work out easier. 1 stick of butter. Now this is too soft. Okay, well, listen, we're going to experiment together. And what you're going to do is pound it. Imagine this was frozen. I would pound it in my parchment paper, and I'd stick it right in here, right in the center. It's so warm now that I put this out 20 minutes ago. It's already this soft. And I don't want to waste anyone's time. You don't want to get too close to the edges because it'll bleed out, right? So here we go. And don't waste any of that butter. You want that good butter in there. Oh my Lord. Smells so good. And then here's the fold. Take off the excess flour. And here's your first fold. You cover it. I have more flour. I'm going to run it off because you want this to look at that. That's so beautiful. Oh my God, that's just beautiful. Right? Pinch in the sides because the butter now, if it was frozen, it wouldn't really run out as easily. And then what we're going to do is flip this. So here's the fold. All I did was turn it. And I'm going to run this over. And not too much. I don't want the butter to bleed out because it's going to bleed out from these two sides. And this side will be another tri-fold or letter fold, halfway up, halfway, and then the other one also halfway. And it's going to close the flap, right? Look at that. It's a little package. We're folding our shirts. And then I'll turn it again. And all I'm going to do is go like that. Keep it there, straight, stay straight, and push it down. That butter is getting inside this dough. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is all the work really that takes. It is just the only part that's time consuming is giving it time to rest. So the butter gets nice and firm in there and marries up into the dough, and then you'll roll it out again. This is how it's going to be. You're going to roll it out again and add another layer of butter. At that point, it's up to you. I've done it with 2 layers. I have done it with 3 layers. It all depends how buttery you want your croissant to be. So I'm going to do the other one now in front of you guys in case anybody missed it. This doesn't want to agree with me either. Here we go. Here we have it. I like to tightly wrap this baby up and put it in the fridge. It's just one of those things. I've made this croissant now 3 years in a row, and it turns out that I always make it this time. So my daughter and her friends and their daddies, it's a daddy-daughter trip. They go camping every year at this time. And because the house is nice and quiet, and I don't really have to drive around everybody, I always end up making my croissants. So I'm going to make a batch because they're leaving again. And you know what? The boys will be home with mommy. Now all I'm going to do is wrap it the other way so the edges are also sealed. And then take a Sharpie and write on it what you just did. First, butter. Signora Ara, pone entrada de refri. Thank you. Pone entrada un bolsa de zipper. We're going to put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator. And you know what? The best is the few hours or wait till tomorrow. So that butter gets nice and firm. This is the second dough. No, más grande. Y pone más grande y posible pone los dos juntos. Solo pone número 1. Yo sabo. Here we go. Next batch. Same thing. We're going to roll this baby out. And if it does that, you're going to put some more flour there and flip it because it's ready to be flipped. Roll this out. Try and stay within that rectangle. It's really simple. You don't need to bring measuring and cut and, oh my God, it's not that complicated. It's homemade, people. Really, enjoy the process. The more complicated you make it, the less you're going to want to make it. It's just the time-consuming part, I can't reiterate enough to you guys, is the fact that you want it to sit for the butter to firm. That's it. Flip this baby over. And look, not too much flour, just lightly flour it. Right? Roll it out. You want it about 1/8 of an inch thickness. You don't want it too thick. And if you can't get it to 1/8 of an inch thickness, you can add more layers of butter. Eventually, you will get it at the right amount of layers. That's the whole point of the thickness, is you want it thin enough so when you add the butter, the layers that you add is what's going to be that flakiness. When you peel it open, you see all those lines. It's just layers of butter. And I can't tell you guys how super important it is to have cake flour. Oh, Coco. Coco quiere que. Oh, baby, I love you. Sorry, a little dog talk with my bebe Coco. This is room temperature, or use frozen, well, somewhat frozen, because you guys just saw the frozen wasn't that happy. It was going to be loud. I could have done it if I wasn't doing a live show with the frozen stick, but it would be a little loud, and I don't want to tap it that hard with YouTube and Instagram watching. All right, here we go. There it is. Just kind of like that. Eye it. Stay off the edges. There. Now, I did make croissants with my simple 2-step dough, and that video also disappeared off of my YouTube. I will redo that again for you guys because a lot of you have been asking me for it. The yogurt, equal parts yogurt and equal parts flour. I will redo that, I promise. There you have it, right? We're going to pull it. This part was a little higher. Just nudge it. Please don't panic. Fold it through all the way over the butter. And here's your other fold. All the way over the butter. It's just perfect. You've got to eye it. Anyone can eye that. There it is. Right? Thank you. I'm going to roll it out. Ooh, I hear the butter. I'm going to creep out of there. So now my other fold. Here's one fold. You're just folding the butter in there, not letting it escape. That's all those folds are for. Pull and put over. There you have it. Look at my little folded blanket. Tap it or just roll it gently. It's delicate, soft, buttery goodness. So yummy. It's so soft. And my rolling pin is marble. That's why I can, at some point, I can just hold it. It has so much weight that I don't really need to push it. It just sits. There you go. There's that baby. There's that baby. This is also going to go in the refrigerator. I might hit it up again tonight for its second roll and butter. And then tomorrow I'm going to do one more. I do want to do 3 sets of butter in there. I really do. I really do. That's it. This is going to go in the... Oh my God, it smells absolutely divine. It really does. Why wouldn't it? It's just perfection. I was telling you guys the key is really, really that baking powder, I think. I know it's not in traditional recipes, but you guys will enjoy it. It'll add so much more airy fluffiness to your croissants. Fold it on the sides. Hello from Norway. We're making croissants. So we started today, all day the lives have been with croissants. And this was our first fold of butter. And we're gonna, yo quiero uno lápiz, por favor. Pluma ya. ¿Dónde? Aquí? The Sharpie. The Sharpie, yeah? No de este, aquí. Yeah, thank you. Gracias. ¿Tú pones uno con el otro? Sí. Gracias. So I have to mark it because this is not my first time. I mix them up. They look the same. How are you going to know? Look at flour all over me. Just close it really well. Seal. You don't want it to smell like the refrigerator. Hello, everybody from Puerto Rico, from London. This is its first butter number 2 dough, because I made 2 doughs. Just mark it. First butter number 2 dough. And this is also going to go in a Ziploc. And we're going to stick that baby in the refrigerator till later tonight or tomorrow, whichever one is more convenient. If you get busy, don't stress it. Just leave it till tomorrow. If you have time, the house is quiet, you want to bang up some frozen butter, then do it tonight. No one's going to stop you. Come in there. All you do is repeat the first step all over again. This will be hardened. You roll it out. You put another butter in the center. You do your tri-fold and you roll it out again. I will come back and show you guys. Thank you, my YouTube, for watching. And I feel like maybe it's a dark video for you guys. I need to flip the camera. Next time I'll be over. And then we'll have part 3 today.